The other, I mean, you know, most of the viewers, I'm sure, have seen that horrendous accident that Romain Grosjean had in Bahrain in 2020. You know, that huge fireball. And he walked out of that with some minor scalds on his hands getting out the car. Other than that, was completely unscathed. The carbon tub did its work. The fireproof clothing did its work. You know, the tub's been on display in London for a little while with the F1 exhibition. But, you know, phenomenal that the driver walked away from what essentially looked like a bomb going off. If you watch that footage of it. And, you know, I know most people will have seen that footage. So, you know, we've come a long way. You know, and safety's developed a number of things. We've got an example of, if you don't mind, I'm just going to put it on this tub. Now, it doesn't fit this tub purposely. This is an old Lola tub, but I've got one there. So this is not a real halo. The real halos are so expensive. They're titanium. They actually get moved from car to car each year. They're the only component that gets used for a Formula One car. Gets transferred every year because they are so expensive, and we're in the era of the cost cap. So unless this has actually been damaged or the integrity has been compromised in some sort of way, we keep the halo as is. This is for essentially a kind of a wind tunnel or a model purposes one, aluminium. The reason it's nice and clean like this is so that it doesn't accidentally get put on a car, you know, if it doesn't. But I've got this one, and it just gives you an extent of how big they are. They're huge, these halos, you know, bolted on the top there. They don't really interfere with the driver's vision at all, but they are there as that head protection. We had that awful series of accidents, you know, the Jules Bianchi, the Henry Surtees, and some of those awful accidents with Dan Weldon and Justin Wilson in the US. A great safety feature, and one of the things that will always stay.
Controversial at the time, fair to say.
Yeah, very.
But it does its job.
It does its job.